So, scenario number one is to take the area of the ring that is the cleanest and either make it cleaner before you do this, and then you're going to copy it and you're going to paste it, and you're going to bring it over to the area that you need it to be in. Now, if we're working, and then now we're going to talk about scenario number two, and this is a good example. Can you see my screen? Okay, so if we're dealing in an 11-inch image, and now the area that I'm dealing with is smaller than the area that has all the scratches, I'm going to have to stretch the part of the image that I copy and pasted. I'm going to have to stretch it, right? But now I'm cutting the resolution in, taking away some of the resolution when I do that, because I'm taking an image that used to be 11 inches and now I'm making it 12. The image that I pasted down, I'm making it like 12 inches relative. I'm making it bigger. So you know what I mean? Like the image that I pasted, I'm now making larger. And when I make it larger, we're losing screen resolution. So now you'll if you look closely, if this goes on the web or in a low-res in a low-res PDF, most people won't see what we're doing. But if you're printing this out for you want to do a high-end museum piece or a promotion poster that you want it to be perfect and beautiful, people will definitely see that you've chopped it out, unless you do a really good job in blurring it out. So that's why I'm saying in scenario number two, remember we're talking about taking your 11-inch image, taking this part, the part that we want clean, opening up your 11-inch image in a new window, making your image 5 inches, then pasting the image that you copied from your 11-inch image and pasting it into your 5-inch image. You now have your pasted image at a higher resolution than your 5-inch image, which means now we can reduce it down. So we're not losing resolution when we're pasting it into our 5-inch image. Okay. So anyway, so this is one way. We're going to go, we're going to rotate it and we match it around. This is what we did in class. And then I can bring it back down. Transform scale, because I know that I'm going beyond my scratches. And opacity, lower the opacity so we can see where the scratches are. And that way, so we want to overlap the clean part. So we want our copied pasted image, we want it to go over the clean image as well, so that there's no seam, right? And so I can see our scratches, where our scratches begin and end. So I'm going to make this a little smaller. It's hard to explain this stuff, that's for sure. Edit, transform. It's embarrassing because when you play this back, I hate to hear my voice recorded. You're going to play this back and go, what the hell is he talking about? Uh-oh. Reconnecting. Your connection is down. No one can see your screen. Oh, I'm back now? Okay. Well, we're recording, so we're good. So now what I've taken, now I'm using is this soft brush in the palettes tool, in the palettes menu, to get a smooth transition to fade out that seam. And you know about hardness, right? Okay, cool. All right. Yes, the recording is still working. All right. So the hardness you know about in your brush. And now I'm erasing the seam, so we have a nice smooth transition. And then I'm going to turn up the opacity to see what our result is. And that's pretty good. Not that you can see it. The next tool I'm using is the lasso tool, and going up to the feather, up to the top of the screen. Have you played with feather? Ooh, feather's cool. So what feather does, if you have feather set at 0 and you use your lasso tool, you know the lasso tool is when you make your selection. If you keep it at 0, your selection that you delete will have a very hard edge. So in some cases that's fine if you're dealing with like a hypertherm mechanical part because it's hard edged. But when you're dealing with a fade or a glow or a non-mechanical piece, then you want to use feather to soften the edge because we don't want to see a seam in this reflection. So I start out at, like, depending upon the resolution too. If this were a 40-inch by 40-inch 7,000 dpi, your feather would have to be like 500 to keep up with the resolution. But since this is only an 11-inch by 11-inch 200 dpi, we can keep it at like 5 pixels. And you'll see what I mean when you see the video. You're just there to listen now. It'll make it less awkward for me to talk to myself when I'm doing the video. Right, so now I'm going to, I selected the area that we're placing in. Now I'm going Command Shift Inverse, Command Shift I, which selects the outside of the image. You'll see that in the video. And I would say that looks pretty darn good. Wow, wait till you see it. Alright, so, oh yeah, this is such good exercise for you though. And now I'm erasing, I saw a little bit of a seam over on that far edge, and over here there's a little bit of a seam, but with a little stretch you can fade it out. Transform, scale. And so, you know, in some cases you can get away with copying and pasting and then making the image larger. You can get away with that in some cases. Man, it's so hard to explain that resolution thing. Taking a part of the same image and making that part larger reduces the resolution of the image that you're pasting back in. Exactly. So what I'm saying is the exact opposite of that. So imagine taking that little 6-inch by 6-inch drawing and making it, what'd you say, 300 inch, what would you say, 6 feet large, whatever that, right? So that's exactly what I'm saying. Is I don't want to take your 3-inch image, sample a part of it, and then enlarge that sample to fill the space we need to fill, because it'll be blurry. It'll not look good, right? So, all right, so I think that looks pretty good. So I'm going to File, Save As, go to the desktop, Ruthie. Oh man, Ruthie. Create ring to PSD. Okay. And now I'm going to go to Basecamp and upload that. Now I'm going to turn off. Okay, so I'm going to say this. I'm going to turn off our movie.